Alright, hello my fine friends, how are you all doing today? I myself am doing rather well, checking out two quick articles that seemed like a bit of insanity, but they're kind of, I felt like commenting on them because of just how absurd they come out as. One involves almost 100 people brawling in a hotel near Disneyland. Not that big of a deal, really, because it's not really involved with Disneyland. It's just taking place near Disneyland. But I just thought it was funny that 100 people started just randomly fighting as well. Start off your vacation with a brawl. And then the second article, which I have on tabbed on right now. Teens arrested with AK-47 at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. And they weren't, at least from the article, how the article's written, they weren't there to attack Trump. Nobody was at the hotel at the time. Trump's family is away and things like that. It seems that they weren't there to do harm to Trump specifically, but of course they are underage juveniles with who are heavily armed. An AK-47 is nothing small to laugh at. What they were doing with it, I don't know. The article also says that they were traveling in a stolen vehicle as well. So both of these articles don't have much information. They're both pretty new stories, and they're both kind of nothing silliness, I would like to say, but they just don't seem real to me, and so I thought I'd cover them back to back. So let's get into it, though. 3 teenage boys have been arrested after inadvertently entering President Donald Trump's Florida resort with a loaded AK-47 assault rifle. And of course, it had to be loaded. What they were going to do with it, who knows? Hopefully, that information does come out eventually. A chase began after Palm Beach police attempted to approach their car, which was parked near the president's Mar-a-Lago club. The boys, aged 15, jumped a wall while fleeing and were later found hiding on the property. Mr. Trump was not there at the time, and the resort is currently closed. I mean, honestly, why would you? You've got your whole life ahead of you, and you're just driving around with a loaded AK-47. At least they didn't try to fire on the cops who were chasing them, but still. Police spokesman Michael Ogrodnik told AP News that the boys were found parked about 2 miles from the club and fled when officers approached to inspect. The boys later saw police conducting a separate traffic stop outside the resort and wrongly thought it was a roadblock set up to catch them. According to a police report, they then left the car and fled into the club. They allegedly dumped a backpack containing the loaded semi-automatic rifle and a 14-round magazine on a seawall at the property. So just pure teenage idiocy at its finest. Maybe they were trying to act cool or something of that nature, and they ended up on the president's property. Now, they could have still been traveling to the president's property. The fact that they were just 2 miles away, but if they were actually gonna try to harm the president, you would think they would be better prepared. So a lot of things that can go into this. They had no idea where they were. Mr. Ogrodnik said, adding that they were lucky that Mr. Trump's family was not there, as they might otherwise have been shot by the Secret Service. Because if they were there, that kind of makes it more clear as to their intention, possibly. The teens were charged with trespassing with a firearm, burglary with a firearm, and resisting arrest without violence. The suspects, who are not being named, are being held in a juvenile detention center as authorities determine whether to prosecute them as adults. Because, I mean, you're not just gonna walk around with an loaded AK-47 and not be thinking about doing some harm or firing it off in some way or form. So we'll see just what they say. They're probably gonna spin a little story about how it just happened to be in their arms or something of that nature. The suspects, have been numerous intrusions to the Mar-a-Lago property since Mr. Trump became president in 2017, including the arrest of a Chinese woman carrying computer malware and a man who pretended to be a member of the president's helicopter crew. And that ends that story. So yeah, once again, a little craziness, not much information to go off of. There's too much I can speculate on that I don't quite want to be wrong on if things turn out to be more serious than what this article is initially saying. But innocent till proven guilty, of course. So maybe they were just dipshit kids being dipshits and not knowing where they are. The most likely case is that they weren't actually trying to cause harm. They were just being kids and being stupid. Hopefully, for the most part. And then to the Brawl. California hotel near Disneyland is site of a massive brawl involving adults, youths, police say. It sounds like people had broomsticks and whatever objects they could find in the hotel, police said. So, another hotel story where more people are just brawling, this time on the opposite side of the country. So we're going from Florida to California now. I just noticed that. Man or mouse? Brawlers likely found out pretty fast Wednesday when a massive fight broke out at a California hotel near Disneyland. As many as 100 people let their fists fly, resulting in at least 2 people hospitalized and 2 taken into custody. Really? I mean, you would think it'd be pretty easy to tell who was in the fight. That probably put down a few more arrests than just 2. Police responded just after 12:30 p.m. local time to the Cambria Hotel and Suites in Anaheim, where they were immediately saw about 40 people fighting outside and another 50-60 battling inside. Authorities described the scene as pandemonium. It was men and women, adults and juveniles, Anaheim Police Sergeant Shane Keringer told the Orange County Register. It sounds like people had broomsticks and whatever objects they could find in the hotel. Here's some pictures of them responding on the outside. No pictures of the actual brawl just yet. Dozens of officers from multiple departments were called to the scene due to the size of the brawl, and the hotel was placed on lockdown while they determined if anyone needed further medical assistance, reports said. The lockdown was cleared around 3 p.m. So, it was a mixture of adults and minorities. 2 people were taken into custody, transported. At least 2 victims were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, while a man and a boy were arrested for fighting in public and obstructing a peace officer, the paper reported. Keringer believed the melee was not confined to one group of people and that all those involved were either patrons or guests of the hotel. So everybody just started fighting. It didn't matter if you actually had beef with anybody or anything. It just dominoed out of control, snowballed, what have you. Police didn't immediately know what sparked the melee, except that it began in the pool area. As all good fights should, fighting by the pool. What more danger can you have? It looks like it just snowballed and developed and grew, Carringer said, according to the Register. Raymond Brown, 11, told Los Angeles KTLA TV the free-for-all began when he playfully pushed his cousin into the hotel pool and the boy landed on some other children. It sparked threats of a fight from others, which quickly drew in adults. Then they all went to the basketball court, and then we got in the hotel and they just started throwing bottles and stuff at us. And then we started fighting, he said. So, yeah, defending your kids is fine and things of that nature, but it sounds like it was just a playful accident that happened, and some people took it more seriously than it should have, and it just spiraled out of control. Just more insanity right now. Not really that I want to add to stuff like that. I don't think it was quite COVID related, the lockdowns and things of that nature, but I thought it was kind of insane that two hotels had two different incidents happen so close to each other. It's all coincidence, of course. I'm not saying there's a connection or anything of that nature. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or trying to make a conspiracy theorist. I just found it funny. Both of these situations pretty funny. Random teens with an AK-47 near Trump's hotel, and then 100 people just free-for-all brawling, kids and adults alike. Just I think we need some levity, and I think these two situations are pretty easy to make fun of, so I just wanted to present them to everybody. That about does it for this video, for these two articles. There's not much for me to say. Mostly, I'm just shocked that these things even happen sometimes. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and leave a like, possibly even subscribe if you do like my commentary for more videos like this. And I hope you guys all take care. Stay away from hotels, I guess.